All right. Heidi ho. Welcome to a new edition of Talon Games Live. I am your host, CAVBoss, aka Big John, aka Little John, aka John John. Hope everybody's doing okay, whether you're here or going to listen to this later. What's up? Ilmarin, how you doing? We'll give everybody a couple of minutes to come shuffling in. Hi there, JS Twitch. If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. We'll be going all week. So, yeehaw. Got lots of little things to talk about tonight. Kind of some things that are in the process and things that are coming up, and just things, stuff. Me and my green hair. Because if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. Oh, better be careful. Get a copyright violation. Yeah, I saw that you had put that up, so I will do my best. I will try to answer them. We'll have them saved for all posterity right here, for all times. Straight from my mouth to your ears. Guess I should turn my sound off. Got that all taken care of. Uh-oh, Bloody Lemming's in the house. Let the murder begin. Well, Elmarin, thank you for the subscription. For 29 months. Woohoo! Had issues logging in. I think you've been banned from Twitch. So maybe you've managed to work your way around. They know how Bloody Lemming is. They're like, oh, we got to ban that guy. He's a killer. Yeehaw. Stuff gets so dusty so fast, doesn't it? I wouldn't be surprised. Me either. Because he's a killer. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. All right. Well, I think we're ready to roll. Mr. JS Twitch, do you want to start off with your questions first? It's a race. Da, 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 da. What scale are the minis? Which minis? I'm going to assume that you are talking about the Iron Lords. Duh. What? I have no idea. I thought maybe you forgot that the CAV stuff was 10 millimeter. Just for everybody's gratification and education, We are in the process of working on a fantasy game. It is called Iron Lords. It is right now being worked on and filled out, and so there's not a huge amount of information yet for it. It's for later in the year, and it uses a lot of the concepts from Warlord. If you've ever played that game, you'll have a lot to do with it, because it kind of carries over with kind of our game designs. It will not share the same universe. Obviously, it is going to be its own game, and that's where we're right now, kind of working on things and getting stuff worked out. As far as scale, it is officially called Heroic Scale 28 millimeter, which is a fancy way of saying 32 millimeter. So our figures, standing straight up for a normal sized human male, will measure 32 millimeters from the bottom of their foot to their eye level. So that'll make them about 34-ish, maybe a little taller on their helmets or whatnot. So heroic scale, that is the scale that Reaper uses. I do admit that they don't always hit that scale. Sometimes they can be a little bigger, but we are pretty good about keeping the scale. So once we got them out there, they're out there. And that way they'll match up pretty good to the Reaper stuff too, because there's a lot of things that we are not going to work on. I can't tell you 100% what races are going to be in the game. But there's a lot of stuff that we're just not going to bother making. There's enough orcs in the world. I don't need to do more orcs. Yes, it is, but it's not nearly as big. Okay, so that covers the scale. And are there any minis available to preview? We do have minis that are done, but I don't have anything where I can preview them right now. Will Iron Lords be a skirmish style or a full-on war game style? It is kind of in between. To me, a skirmish game is 5 to 6 figures. I think the normal game will run somewhere between 15 and 25 figures. A lot of figures move in, if you have a squad of archers, they stay together. So it's not going to be a mass combat game. I mean, it's not going to be like 100 figures to a side or whatever. I mean, you make them as big as you want to, but it is a squad type game that breaks down into squads are obviously the squad of archers or whatever. Then you have NCOs, and then you have, your heroes and monsters that are individual kind of things. But it does have a damage track system. Will Talon Games be doing the minis for Iron Lords, or will be able to use any mini that we have or could get? You will be able to use any miniature that you want to use. We are actually going to take the system that we use for statting out things and condensing that down so that it is a document, something that you can use. And that way, if we don't do a race that you necessarily want to play in the game or whatever, so something like War Machine Infantry having solos, yes. Yes, you have solo characters and 6 to 10 person squads. We will be doing miniatures that are unique to our world only. So if we have a different take on one of the creature races out there, then we'll do them. I will say that we will probably more predominantly feature human type races in the game. I do know that there will be they're not going to be historically accurate, but there will be different factions in the game that are based upon history-based things. So I know that there are samurai, there will be Greek hoplites, there will be Roman centurions, there will be Crusader knights. Yes, there will be the Crusaders. The Crusaders were originally my design, was the faction that I put together for Warlord. So I'm bringing the Crusaders will be coming over. There are Vikings. There are, the hordes, the Chinese, or the Kublai Khan, all that stuff. So all kinds of stuff like that. So if you have something favorite out of an historical type army, you'll probably see something like that in the game. Hence the Iron Lords. Try to get in a Aztec army. That would be kind of cool. Will there be tanks? No, there will not be. This is going to be it is a fantasy game. There are mages, magic users. The magic in our universe is elemental. So you're basically, you have fire, water, air, and earth. That will be your school of the magic that you do. There will not be firearms, cannons, anything like that. And I believe that it is, there will be no black powder. And as far as board size, we're going to optimize it for, a 3x3 or 4x4 game map. So it is 2d6 based. So if you're an old Warlord guy, you use d10s, but it will be 2d6. Do you envision organized play? I do. Hopefully down the road, it's not anything that we're gonna try right off the bat. I believe the normal fantasy elements like dragons and golems. I probably won't get into devils and demons and all that stuff like that. I figure that there are enough D&D type clone fantasy games out there that I don't need to, that's not the kind of game that I want. But again, the rules are designed so that you will be able to take any model that you want and stat it out and put it in the game. Now, obviously for organized play or tournament or something like that, then that wouldn't fly there. But of course, there's Crusaders. Crusaders have to have their horses. I believe basing is on squares and rectangles, if I remember correct. Yes, we'll have a starter box. We will probably end up doing it just like that we're doing the new version of CAV. It is a free move game. You do measure, yes. We will probably put the core rules out for free, and then there will be a source book, and that includes the rules as well. So. I would imagine, we'll kind of do, I'm sure there'll be dwarves and elves in the game. But we'll see. If it goes with the story I have in mind, great. If it doesn't, then they won't be there. There is something that is going on that these kingdoms are all fighting for. So, who will be the Iron Lord? I have no idea about Age of Wonders PC games. Is it iron? I bet it's iron. It is iron. Iron and bronze. Okay, do we got any more Iron Lord questions before I move over to the sci-fi part of things? Maybe. We'll see. I believe that the system supports for a flying model. Sultan on a flying carpet. I know that I want monsters to be rare so that they're not, there's not going to be, it's not that they won't be out there and that you can't have one or two in a game, but yeah. Some Greek mythology will work into the game, creature-wise. We're not going to have a big, I don't know where we're going to go with religion necessarily in the game. So I don't know that we will have how in depth we'll get into that. And just so that everybody understands, when I talk about Greek or I talk about samurais or the Vikings or whatnot, these are not going to be true to history of these guys. These are inspired by the Greeks. These are inspired by the Vikings. Are they actually Vikings and actually Greeks? No. But they are inspired by that as far as the look and some of the ways that they do. Obviously, whatever the Greek version of force ends up being, with the phalanx and things like that. And if you're bringing up computer games, I have not played a computer game in a long time. So I have no idea what those games are. I am officially going to break down and play Starfield. That's about the only thing I've got planned. I was playing Destiny back in the day, and they've screwed it up so much I can't hardly stand to play it anymore. And I still, from time to time, play Lords of the Rings online, just because I like Lord of the Rings. And back when Lord of the Rings came out, I bought a lifetime membership to it or whatever. So they, when they switched to free to play, they've got a thing for VIP people. So we get a bunch of crap every month. Oh, like the Legends of Middle Ages. Yeah. Yeah, I don't, I don't want these huge piles of monsters necessarily out there. Like I said, we'll probably have our version of orcs and goblins and some things that kind of are in the way of the Iron Lords. Probably so. Probably have elves and dwarves. Those are kind of staples that everybody wants. I'm sure it'll be. I mean, it'll be both. Again, you're putting the cart in front of the horse here. I know that obviously with a fantasy game, it is very, very easy to be more with objectives because we're not dealing with the speed and the ranges that we would have like we have in a sci-fi game. So that always makes it easier to have objectives that people have to get to and things they have to complete into the game. And we will be supporting it with, terrain as far as both MDF and other things too. So. We'll have some giants. We got to have giants. Giants can take them and throw them across the board. Woohoo! But again, and it uses special abilities like we have in CAV. So. Oh, I can't wait to build. We're definitely going to have a trebuchet model. My laser cutter is screaming for me to make a trebuchet. Just to set out there, just to look cool. And really, I mean, obviously we will support the game and we will do things, but the fantasy game is really coming from, this is going to be the fantasy game that I want to play. So hopefully you will enjoy the ride. The nice thing too is a lot of what we learn and do with this will lead into a sci-fi version of a 32 millimeter game as well. All right. Anything else more that we want to go over the fantasy side of things? Not to mention, we'll have lots of cool art. All right, so let us switch gears a little bit over to the sci-fi thing. Yeah, CAV Ironwords crossover, a one shot. We are going to, all right, first off, I don't know if you saw any of the preview pictures of the new light infantry. We are switching out the metal, the light infantry, and the power armor. We're going to be tweaking the heavy infantry a little bit. Some things that we have worked out for the new stuff, we can add to the existing ones a little bit, just add a little more detail to them. There will be 5 packs instead of 4. There are the assault rifle squad. There is the light and medium mortar squads. There is the heavy weapons squad, and then there's also going to be basically an SMG squad that we're going to have this time. So there's enough figures in there to build your various bases up like that you want to. The nice thing about especially the AR guys and the guys that have multiple of the guns versions, each guy is different, with different the way they're holding their gun and whatnot. There's even one of the SMG guys is throwing a grenade. So hopefully we'll have the power armor up pretty quick. We should have all the light infantry packs up on the site next week, ready for ordering. And then at that point, there will be no metal light infantry anymore. So they have served long and prosperous. It is time for them to move on. They would be 22 years old, somewhere right in there. Time to update them. Each pack price will stay the same. They're $5.99 a pack. There's 3 stands of 4 guys each, 3 bases, and so very, very excited for them. We'll get some painted up pretty soon too, so we can get some painted pictures up. We also we are working on as we've talked, if somebody's on here that doesn't know this, through the summer, we are making some changes to the CAV game. Going forward, the game will be titled Armored Might. It is a new universe. CAVs are still called CAVs. Some of the factions will be coming over into the game. We're not going to have these huge, the galaxy broken down into 5 different areas or something like that. There's going to be some larger factions that control an area of their space and whatnot. It has much more of a corporation feeling to it. So it is all human based. There will not be any aliens as far as intelligent life. There will be a greater emphasis on mercs. There is a crossover in the sense that everybody's buying from everybody. So there's not going to be necessarily any set models. There are going to be, the factions are probably going to stick more to the factories and whatnot that are in their areas that they're purchasing from, but that's not necessarily has to be that way. So, that's something there that you'll be able to start playing whatever you want to play. I know that the Terran, the Federation will be carrying over. The Ritter the Adenese as far as a faction. The Templars will be coming over. So those are the 4 ones. Malverns and Rock are going to be a little different. I'm not 100% sure how I'm going to do those yet. I do know that we have, there's some other factions that are going to be coming into the game, including the Ryuza Imperium, the Avalon League. Trying to think of the other one. I think there's like the Helian Commonwealth or something like that is another one. And then there'll be, like I said, just piles and piles of independent worlds, and there'll be different groups of people on the same world. We have a lot of options to play. This will also carry over into our RPG game. We are doing some more work on it. I think that I have come to the conclusion that we are going to build our own RPG base game. We have looked at some of the versions that are out there. There's the 5e based games that are very popular right now. I just have decided that I don't want to mess with a 5e based game. There is just so much crap going on with that right now. I don't know how that's all going to land. I think probably in a year, people are screaming and hollering, but as usual, it's like gas prices. They go over $4, everybody screams and hollers, but they're still out there paying for gas. So we'll just see how that goes. But I have a system in mind that I've done some work on in the past, and we'll probably just carry that over into a new RPG game. It is my hope that we will have an RPG scenario to run at CAV-CON /ReaperCon this year. So it is something that we are actively working on. We've got lots going on. I've got some people in to give me a hand, and we are going to get stuff out there. Right now, the primary goal is to update the base rules of the CAV game, get that switched over into the Armored Might universe, and get all the data cards finally caught up and put out, and go from there. Now, if you're a CAV diehard, certainly you can continue to play CAV in the world, the universe as it exists. Just going forward, that is not something that we will be supporting. Obviously, if there's a question that you want to ask me about it, or have my idea what I thought something would happen, I have no problem, no qualms at all answering that for you. Nice thing is, if that's a universe you want to continue on going forward, you can do whatever you want to. You don't have to worry about us coming back and retro your stuff or tell you that it's wrong. But I hopefully that you will give Armored Might a try, a chance, to see how it works out. I'm very excited about the new initiative system that we debuted last week. So we've been getting some feedback on it. I think so far everybody's been real happy with the way that it's turned out. And I know that I am. I know that initiative system will follow over into the Iron Lords game as well. So what else can I tickle your fancy with tonight? We have no other, as far as new models, CAVs, vehicles, and stuff like that, that we are not going to be releasing anything right now for a little bit while we're making the switch over. We're in the process of getting in new blister cards, new packaging, so those are things that'll happen. We are working on models. They will come out when we're ready. But right now, it's we're more worried on getting caught up with the stuff that we need to get caught up with. I have a tough summer planned out, and come hell or high water, we are going to stick to our schedule. Okay. Any questions? Anything you want me to cover at this point? I'm kind of out of where I am on stuff. I think I've covered my high points. Now, one of the things too that I did want to bring up, and you'll probably notice it on Discord and everything like that, as we move forward, a lot of things that are currently branded as CAV will be more branded towards Talon Games, since we're going to have multiple things that we're going to be supporting. So the Lion tank that we did share the pictures of the other day on Facebook and everything, that is a Chris at Steiger Designs. He decided that he wanted to do his version of the Lion, so that was what he did and sent to us, and we will be putting it out. I don't think that there will be a anti-grav version of it, and it will probably, I would imagine that Lion, that he calls it the Lion 3. That may become the Gauntlet. I believe that was the Amethryl's version of the Lion. So we may just move that over and make that into the Gauntlet. When do you think we'll see some core details on Iron Lords? I would say that really Iron Lords is going to be probably into the fall. Like I said, the summer is really centered around Armored Might and getting that all back on track. How are the Rock and the Malvernans going to translate? People are asking on Discord. The Malverns are somewhat easier in that, we can have some kind of a religious order and whatnot. The Rock, I'm not sure yet how that's going to work. It may just be a pirate group that's out there that we can work the name into. The easiest would be to turn them into the Reavers from Firefly, but I don't think that we'll probably go that direction. Iron Lords post CAV-CON. We may have some stuff. We may have some demo games ready for CAV-CON, but as far as anything bigger than that, yes, it'll be more into the fall and early winter. It is not my intention to try to do a full port of the CAV game into Armored Might. Obviously, if some of it makes sense and can carry over, I don't have a problem with that. The Adenese, the AEC, obviously, that other than not being an alien race transfers over. Everything kind of had the Adenese were very European-like, so that's easy to switch over. The Ritter, obviously with their German basis and everything like that's easy to carry over. The Amethyl are pretty much going to be gone. Again, the Templars, it can make sense. It works over. The Terran Federation, it may not be called the Terran Federation, but the Terran with their logo and stuff can carry on. So no new releases on until we've got we're a little further ahead on things right now. We are not putting any new figures out. We are still working on them. We'll have plenty available and ready, and it may be that we, trickle one here, one there out. But, it's just like, we've got the light infantry coming. We have the power armor coming. So, we've got some new things coming out. CAV MDF bridge. I have worked on it. I'm just not happy with it yet. Right now, the working name on the RPG game for our sci-fi game is called Vanguard. Just if anybody was wondering. I don't know that will be the final name, but that's our working name right now. We have the files up and ready to go and ready to print and do them. Again, it's with not trying to put releases out right now. That'll be something we get to down the road, since we'll have to be 3D printing those. We do have the files ready to go. I do plan on getting in a couple of bigger 3D printers, FDM printers, that will also make it easier for us to do the broadsword. The CAV-CON tourney rules are waiting for the update on the armored might. Once I have the armored might core rules updated with the changes that needs to be put in there, then I will update with the tourney rules, and we'll have those out there. I would expect them sometime by the end of June. If it gets too far into it in the deal, then we may have to pass on the tournament this year. My feeling, point wise, is probably 12 to 15 models per side per player. Point wise, probably 4,000 points. We're probably going to tune the points down a little bit so that we don't have nearly the larger models. The plan is for CAV-CON this year, as far as general gaming, I do plan on setting up the big table again for basically a game that will run from Thursday through Sunday. So people can come and go and play in the game and learn how to play, and the whole enchilada. I think on our Facebook page there's a video and some pictures of the last time we did the big game. It's been 4 or 5 years ago, and I think that table was 32 feet long. So quite the board. It had a little bit of everything. That was the year I first met you. Yeah, it's been a while. Probably even longer than that. Longer than, I'm thinking 4 or 5 years. It's probably been even longer than that. Yeah, probably so. Because it was before I sold the tow yard. So, and that was I sold that in 2017. All right. Well, that truly covers everything that I had to cover tonight. So you got some questions, we'll shoot for them. If not, we may call it a night. Hopefully can get back to doing some hobbying here on Wednesday nights as well. Pancakes. Always pancakes. I am a pancake guy. My kids are waffle guy. Well, the youngest boys. Oh, he's a big time waffle guy. I like a waffle. Waffles are all right, but I like pancakes. Goodbye, bloody lemming. Don't kill anybody and get back to work. Both. You can work and not kill anybody. Or me. Don't kill me. I don't want to die. The nice thing too with the new Armored Might universe, it is so much easier for you as a fan or us to bring in people to work on fiction. So I'm really looking forward to that prospect. I'm hoping that we will get more fiction from our fan base and things like that. I think it'll be easier for them to work on. Oh, well, so James, Reavers is from the Firefly series. And basically it is a world that had a biological agent that's turned these guys into nutty, cannibalistic dudes. And they fly around the outer edges of space, and they've got their ships, and they've got crap hanging on them and skeletons hanging from chains on them and everything. So they're cool. I mean, they're kind of a rock kind of thing. All right. Well, I think with that in mind, we are going to call it a night, an early night. I'm ready to go home. So thank you very much for being here. Thank you for your support. I'm trying to do better about keeping up on Discord. So if you got stuff on there, I've been trying to jump in there and keep everything going. So everybody take care, and we will talk at you later. Good night. Peace out.